So in this video, I'll be going over my top 5 altcoins and when and where exactly I'll be buying. As you guys already know based on my previous videos, I'm already in some of the coins at all-time lows. However, there's an opportunity, and this is probably going to be your last opportunity to buy if we get this move that I forecasted. So based on my previous videos, I've told you that I'm expecting BTC to come into the regions of around 100K. And as we get the move down, we will be dollar cost averaging our alts. And once we tap into this region, this will then create the next and the final finale to the upside on our altcoins and all other coins. Therefore, it's very, very important you pay attention to what I'm looking at right now. So on BTC, what we can see is we've had a rejection off the OTE level of around 117,000. We've tapped into this fair value gap, and we are in the premium side of this dealing range. However, we have liquidity resting above down here. There's always a possibility that price will come back up, take out previous week's high, tap deeper into this OTE level, and then we'll get the rollover to the downside. That's the first option that I can, or that I am expecting on BTC. The second option is we get the move to the downside first, but we'll only come into the regions between around 115 to 113K, and then we'll get another move to the upside. This will create mass FOMO in the market. And the reason is because we start the week off bearish and we tap into this fair value gap down here. Let me just mark that on for you guys. And once we tap into this fair value gap, there will be mass fear in the market thinking we're going to the downside. However, as we get the move up, this will then create FOMO, thinking this is the final finale and we're going to the upside now. And people would then begin to buy. And as we move up, we liquidate all the levels around here. We come into this mass liquidations. If you look at the liquidity heat map, there's a lot of liquidity resting above 118K. And as we get that, that will be our fake move, and then we'll come down to the downside. The main thing to pay attention to down here is my expectation on BTC is to roll over to the downside. And as we get the rollover to the downside, this could be the move that we're expecting and we've been waiting for the last 4 to 6 weeks. So on the daily time frame, we can see we've had a break of market structure down here. On the weekly, we haven't had a break of market structure. We've closed below it. So this is the regions I'm looking at for a push to the downside and then coming up, then coming back down. So I'm expecting a small move down, tap into all of this liquidity, move to the upside, creating mass FOMO, getting people on the wrong side, and then we'll get the bigger move to the downside. This is where we want to pay attention to, this big move to the downside, because we have two opportunities down here. The first opportunity is for us to short the market from this region on BTC on a leverage trade. I'll keep you guys updated on this. And then the second opportunity is to buy our altcoins as we come down, dollar cost average our altcoins. Now, if we just go over to Ethereum, and if you've been watching my previous videos, you know exactly what we're expecting. On the daily time frame, we can see that we're within these regions down here. And what I'm expecting is a push to the upside on Ethereum, in fact. And we may take out the all-time high, tapping into the regions of around 5,000 to 5,200. And this could result in the total market cap chart creating an all-time high as well. As we get that, again, this will create mass FOMO and people will be buying on the wrong side of the trade, as we would then get a reversal and a rollover to the downside. And the reason why I'm seeing this is because usually when we get the finale of the alt season, we need extreme fear in the market, and that has not yet happened. We need mass liquidation in the market, and that also has not happened yet. And for us to believe that it will happen, we need price to come into key levels where it will create mass fear. So because we've been ranging within this range for a while, we need price to break out of this range, come to the downside. I want Ethereum to hit at least around 4K, if not lower. Anywhere between the region of 4K to 3.5K is where I'm looking. We've got an order block resting down here at 3.8K. This could be the move that we've been waiting for. So let's see how that plays out. And it's very, very important to mention, we will not buy the alts I'm going to mention to you now until we get the move to the downside, coming down. So that's when we would then begin to dollar cost average. So what coins am I looking at? The first one, as you know already, ALGO. So I've bought ALGO at around 0.14. So if I just show you the chart right now, I'll zoom out on the monthly. This is how it's looking. I've made a video about the top 5 things you need to research and do before you buy any form of altcoins. And it's very important you watch that video because that gives you a highlight of what I've been researching and what I've been looking at before I then buy my altcoins. One of the key things to mention down here on Algo is, where is it in the market right now? We can tell that we're at all-time lows, and this is a good sign for us, and this is exactly what we want to see, because as we now get the move on Ethereum to the downside, this could result in Algo dropping by another 20%. And if Algo drops by another 20%, this will give us our opportunity to get in at a cheaper price. So I'm looking at the regions of around 0.2 to 0.15. So on the charts, you can see 0.2 around here to here is where I'm looking. So of course, I've already bought in at 0.14 around these areas here. Now, as price comes down, I'm going to continue buying. I'm going to dollar cost average, but the point I would buy at would be 0.2 first. I need price to hit 0.2, and anything below that, I would add more of my bag into it. So that's the first thing I'm looking at on Algo. If we then just forecast my expectation of where Algo can go, and this is why it's very important we buy at the prices I've mentioned to you, because let's just say we had this move up and people were FOMOing and started to buy at the move at 0.4. And our target on Algo, let's just go with a very, very conservative target of 0.12. You would only almost 2x your capital. Now, if we buy at the prices I've been mentioning at around, let's just call it 0.14, that's a 7x right there. So this is why it's very important that you buy at the prices that I've called at and we wait for the market and be patient. So actually what I'm expecting is a minimum target of $1 on Algo. There's always an opportunity. The longer that it takes for the market to actually go into the official finale of the alt season, the more stronger and the more powerful the move's going to be. And we could even expect all-time highs to get taken out. I will never sell all of my bag at $1. I would slowly take some profit as we move up and continue moving up. So Algo is my first coin. Second coin I'm looking at is CRV. I'm not going to go into the analysis of this. The logic is the exact same. I am looking at CRV within the regions of around 0.3 to 0.4. If we buy at 0.3, let's just put on 0.3 from here. And if we just target around $2 to $3, 6x at $2, $3 is 10x. Look how easy it is for us to get a 10x based on being patient and waiting for price to hit the areas we're expecting. Of course, as we move down, we can slowly start building our bag and putting money into it slowly. As we move lower, you already know you should be adding more of your bag into it. Virtuals is a very strong coin, and I would highly recommend to do some research into this coin. It's a new coin. It's only got released last year in May. However, this coin is a great coin, and I would also recommend to research some of the coins within the ecosystem, such as Game, Robostack, and there are a couple of other ones that you can research. So Virtuals is a great coin. I've actually got a DeFi liquidity pool into this as well, but I want Virtuals to come to at least around $1. As we move into the $1, it's a psychological level. I would look to buy around here. And if we just hit the all-time high, that's a 4x, a 5x from there. Virtuals, without going into too much detail, check this one out. I want price to come into the 78.6 level, which is around the $1. And I would then look to buy. Again, this all depends on the total market cap chart, BTC and Ethereum, based on where they are at. Because as we move down, and suppose Ethereum has hit 4K, it's hit 3.8K, and virtuals has come to $1 or even below, we should be buying. Right, the final two coins I'm looking at is PopCat. I won't go into too much detail on this. This is more of a higher risk coin. I bought PopCat at around 0.2. I want price to come back into my regions of around 0.21 to 0.2, and I will buy a bag of that. So this is a great coin. Of course, it's a meme coin, so it's a higher risk play. So go check that one out. And then the final one that I'm looking at, and I've mentioned this in the past to you, is Litecoin. This coin is a great coin because of where it's situated right now, especially because we've been moving down. We're almost at all-time lows around the regions of 0.0055. So let's just say that we buy right now, okay? And we wait and hold it until we tap into September's high of 0.07. That's 8x. If we just wait a bit more to wait around 0.55, we'll be doing over a 10x on that. Look at the difference. It's very, very small on the way down, but look at the difference in terms of your X's on the way up. That's why it's very important to be patient and do your research before you buy any coins, of course. This is not financial advice, but I would recommend to do your chart analysis, do your research, understand the coin. You don't need many coins to become rich from crypto. You need a handful of coins. That's one thing that I've learned on my journey. You don't need 100 coins. As long as you've done your research on these coins, you only actually need one coin to 10x your capital. Of course, you can diversify. There is actually no such thing as diversification in crypto, because I feel like once we get the alt season, most of the coins will move. However, if you're well invested into a coin and you really like the backing of it, then of course, why not buy it? So those are the coins that I'm looking at right now. Let me know what coins you guys are interested in, what you're looking at. I can do some charting and some analysis for you guys. And once again, if you like these types of videos, I do analysis based on the ICT strategy. So go and smash that like button, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.